Winnie, the Jamaican chick in the pictures. I liked you so damn much. Probably my favorite, but I promised myself way back then nobody would ever hurt me again. That includes you. I loved you, but you hurt me with your fucking Jamaican jealousy.
Yo, I don't know if it's the way you're reading it.
It's probably the way I'm reading it. You can go on your way.
You're fucking Jamaican jealousy.
I don't need you.
Just having a moment.
Right. I felt like I was on the ID channel just
Oh.
Yerrr, yerrr, sports show. Yerrr, yerrr, sports show. Yerrr, yerrr, sports show. We get it on, we get it on.
Yeah. Wow, what a blast from the past. That was what, like 5 years ago?
Right, that's one of the favorite clips that we have. That was from episode 25
My God.
of the Yerrr Sports Show. Episode 25.
Can I just say we all look kind of washed up at that 5
Boy, boy.
What was that camera quality for that we were actually paying for studio time with? That camera quality was all
Garbage.
Because I really couldn't make out our faces. Like, that's crazy to me.
I don't know.
We really couldn't make our faces out.
I don't know how. I think that one was particularly bad. I've seen the other ones when we.
Some of them didn't look that great either for studio quality, if you really want to get technical. But you know, I mean, sheesh.
Yeah, it was a little bit crazy. But welcome back to another episode of the Yerrr Sports Show, episode 188.
You keep.
I'm not remembering the episodes. I'm not remembering.
You keep messing up the episodes. You keep messing up the episodes.
We're one behind then. What? So it's 189.
Let's just say 190 at this
You know
point.
what? Episode 200 of the Yerrr.
Episode 200.
Episode 200 of the Yerrr Sports Show. I'm your host, Big Baby, aka the soul of R&B. I had a moment there. I don't know what happened. I glitched.
Not what you were saying.
Yeah, I forgot who I was for a moment. To my right, I have the queen, Air Infinity herself, 100K. Tay, what's going on?
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Happy holidays, all that good stuff.
All that good jazz. This weather's been terrible.
Yes, it has. It's been awful. I mean, last week we had a snowstorm. I mean, it was on like 5 inches of snow, but it was completely inconvenient. And then we had historically frigid weather. And then we had one nice temperature day, but it rained like hell. And then I think over the weekend it was okay, but here we are with like these snow showers again.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then Friday and Saturday, a little bit more snow is supposed to be coming. It's just weird. Like it's the month for it, but it's kind of like come on, like. Remember having like 60-degree Christmases and stuff like that?
Those.
Yeah, those are lit. I remember going to my great grandmother's house, God rest her soul, and it would be like warm on Christmas. It'd be warm during the holidays, and it's like, oh yeah, I don't have to bundle up. But no, my mama. Right? Shout out to my mama. I was bundled all the way up because
we used to play outside on Christmas.
Yo. I was just telling somebody recently. I miss the actual being outside, like playing with your friends
and cousins. Like the family time on Christmas. That's what I looked forward to the most, honestly, because especially as we got older, like when Christmas, like when you want to say, like when the excitement around Santa Claus kind of died down and you kind of knew what you were getting, it became like more. I want to go hang out with my cousins or my friends. Like me, I come from a big family. So like every Christmas we go to my grandmother's house in Brownsville, like the Marcus Garvey Village. And it'd be like everybody sitting in the living room or sitting on a porch, looking at like the CDs that we got, or the games that we got, or the shoes and the clothes that we got. And it wasn't even about that. It was just about playing the games, having that togetherness, listening to the music. To this day, there's certain Christmas songs that I cannot listen to
Hmm.
because it brings me back to the time. And then when the nucleus of the family passes away, and for the Green family, that was my grandmother. We called Mima. It's just never the same. And well, we used to have a time, a time.
Yeah, I remember a lot of my Christmases. I remember like early on, is that because my mother. For those who don't know, and not to get too crazy in my business, but um, after I was born, my mother and my stepfather got together, and I was around my stepfather's side of the family, like my grandmother over there. That was always the first stop. After we opened our gifts, we would go have breakfast at my grandmother's crib, and then we would go to my grandfather's house, my stepfather's father, and then later in the evening, we would go to my great grandmother, Grandma Evelyn. God rest her soul. She passed away a couple months ago, but in the pink houses, and I just remember being there. That's probably the most fun, being there with all my cousins there, and just being in the back room acting a damn fool,
Acting a fool and getting cursed out
getting
by my
yelled at.
aunt, by my mother, by my
Mhm.
grandmother. Like, sit down.
Right,
You're making too much goddamn noise. I want all y'all to go home.
right. Well, meanwhile, they really didn't want y'all to go home. Like,
Right. And one thing about my grandmother, she
mhm,
always had something for all of us.
mhm,
Whether it was hat and gloves,
mhm,
whether it was scarf and gloves, whether it
yep,
was, something. She made sure. I'm not exaggerating. On my mother's side of the family,
mhm,
I have about 20. I want to estimate about 25 first cousins,
mm,
and a majority of us were really, really close because we all grew up really close to each other. And like, just the calamity that we'd cause, and the pranks and the jokes and the this, and running around with our neighborhood friends. Some are still around, some, God rest their soul. But just like, it was a time, man. No cell phones,
none.
no beepers. I had a beeper later on, but like, it was just the best of times. And it wasn't even about the gifts, it was just about laughing and ranking on each other and all the jokes. And can I spend the night? Can I stay at your house? Can I stay at
Right,
your mother's house? And then, I was always the one with the guts to ask. They're like, yo, you ask. You
right.
ask. And I'm like, okay, I guess, but
The camaraderie was something
camaraderie,
crazy.
that's what this generation, I think, is missing.
Hmm.
I think that old school family dynamic has evolved, and not for the best. I feel. I
Hmm.
think that when there's always somebody in the family who moves away,
Yeah.
and then when they move away, they take a few people with them, and then you either split the time in that new town,
Hmm.
or it's harder to see everybody, where the home residence is. And Christmases just don't feel the same. New Year's just don't feel the same. It was the same thing on New Year's too.
Yeah, we didn't do much on New Year's. It was just in the house. We would watch a ball drop and then we'd go to sleep. Like I remember the first time my mother was like, "Here, drink this," and it was like apple cider, and I'm thinking because they drinking um, champagne, and I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." Then I got older, and then
It was good.
yeah, yeah, right. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm lit. Um, then the time my mother actually gave me champagne herself, and it's just like piggybacking on what you said about this generation. I was talking to one of my friends about just in general, like what life used to be in terms of actually you had to learn life skills outside. You had to
Yeah,
learn how to make friends outside.
outside.
Like,
And shout out to my home friends. You know, it was a group of us. It was me.
mm-hmm.
It was my girls. Like it was me. It was Tonya. It was Fatima. It was Kafaya. It was Sophie. It was
Yeah.
all of us. And eventually it was Christina. Then there was so many of us that grew up. And one thing about Brownsville, especially one thing about Brooklyn, especially Brownsville,
Yeah.
like that sense of community is
It is.
something that you don't. You know, Brownsville has its stigmas and this and that. I think every neighborhood has bullshit in New York City.
Agreed.
But we had a strong sense of community that's so different from anywhere else I've ever been. Canarsie don't have that.
Not Canarsie
And
don't.
no,
Canarsie,
not at
I
all.
don't think so. I don't think so.
And I'm gonna get into
And
that.
Matt might definitely tell us different,
Yeah,
but
but I lived in
yeah.
Canarsie too because my father's side of the family was the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like we would, you know, when your parents are separated, you
Mm-hmm.
know, you sometimes split holidays, or the
Yeah.
parent that you don't live with don't necessarily always get you on that holiday. They either get you the day after or you split. Like I split holidays a lot growing up, and it was the same thing. Like at first we lived in Queens and then we moved to Canarsie. And Canarsie, to me, never had a sense of community. But I think that that has something to do with how Black Americans view each other as opposed to people from the Black diasporas look at each other and look at society. But I'm going to get into that when we start talking about MAGA Minaj.
Yeah. Oof, man. Man. Oh, that was something to see on my YouTube because I was blown away. Now,
Are you?
no.
Are we going to get into it or are we going to
We're gonna get to it right now.
get into it
We're
right
gonna get to
now?
it right now.
Drop the clip.
All right, we're gonna drop a clip.
For young men, don't be new scum. Yes, see, dear young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president. And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
Yikes.
Now, I'm always going to be different. I'm always going to approach situations with other Black women with very, very, very meticulous language, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I say that to say this. She has the makings of what the MAGA crowd loves. She uses bully rhetoric often. She's married to a registered child sex offender.
Yep.
Um, and she just does not live in a world where facts and opinions mean two completely different things. Just the use of the word assassin when it came to describing J.D. Vance in front of a widow who
Right.
just lost her husband to an assassination
Mm-hmm.
um, tells me everything that I need to know. But am I surprised at this display of tomfoolery? Not at all. Do I think that there's two things that are at play here, right?
Mm-hmm.
One, what is the most disappointing thing is just the language around what she said about young trans men and women and young Black girls not having to feel beautiful but tear down other white girls. And I think that that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's fodder. I think there's a world where I can uplift a young Black woman to feel beautiful because general societal standards have showed them that they're not.
Right.
And just because a young Black girl looks in the mirror and feels beautiful with her wider nose, her coarser hair, and her darker skin has nothing to do with a young white girl feeling beautiful in her in her skin, in her lighter skin, in her this. The two should not even exist in one sentence.
Absolutely not.
It is two different things. Whereas there has been different acts put together to protect people of color from discrimination based on appearance because of those same societal standards. There had to be a hair act passed maybe like 10 years ago, because women who wore natural hair was discriminated against in work. Men who wore braids, people who wore dreads, people who wore hijabs. You know, they were faced with a different type of scrutiny and discrimination. And I believe that what happens is we think that because someone shares the same skin tone that they're kin. And it doesn't happen that way often. Nicki Minaj is a multimillionaire, and her point of view on daily life is skewed based on where she is in her tax bracket, who she associates with her in a daily life, and all the stuff. That's why, in a way, I wish that entertainers stayed in their lane when it comes to spreading misinformation. And this woman built a legacy and her career on the backs of gays, trans, and that entire community. And now when she's not in the focal point of that music narrative, now when she feels that she's been done wrong by Rock Nation and whoever, she postured for the right. And what upsets me about that is that the chokehold that traditional Christianity has on the Black diaspora is dangerous. Because defending Christianity and Christian nationalism are two very different things.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
The persecution that's happening in Nigeria and overseas in the name of Christianity, and defending and using white supremacy to defend that shows me that she is in a conversation that she knows nothing about. And it's very dangerous rhetoric. I do believe that we have the right to free speech. People can say whatever they want to say or whatever, but you also, with freedom of speech comes freedom of consequence. Nicki Minaj has sullied her own legacy. She will be one of the greatest female rappers of all time who undid basically what she set out to do. And maybe for her, it wasn't about being a pioneer. Maybe for her, it was just about being a rapper to sell a million records. You know, she married a sex offender. Her brother is a rapist as well, you know, and even though that has nothing to do with her character, because she didn't do it, but it shows you that she likes to lay in the bed with filth.
Yeah, and it's insane. I want to play the rest of the clip because as she said what she said, and she caught herself, Erika Kirk kind of, jumped in and kind of consoled her. Let me play the rest of it.
For young men, don't be new scum. It's our vice president. And when I say...
trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine. Yes, we did. I love you.
I love you. I love you.
You have to laugh about it, truly. I have been called every single thing, and you know what? God is so good, you let it roll right off your back. And this is what's so beautiful about this moment, because if the internet wants to clip it, who cares? I love this woman. She's an amazing woman. She has a soul and a heart for the Lord. And words are words, but I know her heart, and it doesn't even matter.
Lord.
And you say what you want to say because I know your heart. I do not judge that.
Thank
This goes exactly into what you just said. Like, what does the Lord have to do about any of this? Right?
Well, we know, yeah, of course, yeah.
Like, and not to mention, her late husband did not even think that Nicki Minaj was a positive role model
At all.
He said that on a few occasions. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, I'm not even trying to figure out what the angle is. I see the angle. The angle's right there in front of us.
I don't
You
care.
want to put someone in a who is in a prominent position in the black community, right? We say what we
Is she
want.
though still?
People still look at Nicki Minaj in the same breath that they look at Beyonce, like, right? There are it is true. If we look at the Barbz,
They're not as
ho,
big as the Beehive, but they're big.
ho,
They're not as big. She took a few dings
she
when
did.
Cardi came on the scene. It got, I think what started the decline in her being, top was her reaction to when Cardi came in. Even though she did work with all these women when they first were simmering up, but to me it was as if she played chess. It was like she knew when this person was going to release, so she made sure she released, or her team made sure she released at the same time. There's three things that tarnished her legacy to me: marrying a sex offender, a violent sex offender. That's one. Two, the way in which she attacked Meg the Stallion like 2.5 years ago, and made the comments about her dead parents and stuff like that. I believe that she started to kind of tarnish her legacy. Absolutely. Do I think she's on the same level as like a Diddy or R. Kelly or something? No, that's crazy.
No, that's a whole different tier.
That's a whole different tier. But I do think that, while she's entitled to her own religious beliefs and all that stuff, to me, it's a reflection of the difference between, what Black Americans face every day. Right. This woman is she's not even a citizen of the United States of America. Let's be completely honest with you there. What I find something that enrages me when it comes to Blacks in general. There is a difference between how Black Americans are viewed and view religion, sexuality, and the validation of whiteness, the validation or proximity to whiteness, and people from the West Indies, in Africa, how they view the Black American struggle.
They do.
Right. And to me, that is something that needs to be studied within our own communities. And I think that it is a problem between us because Christianity has Black people. The white supremacy in Christianity has Black people in a chokehold. And that chokehold has debilitated Black people from really seeing what society is for all. I cannot believe that the same God that would allow us to be in slavery would be the same God that feels like homosexuality is wrong and will punish homosexuals for a natural feeling, as opposed to, so you mean to tell me that there's more space in hell for homosexuals than there are for child predators? I just want it to make sense. I just want someone to sit with me in front of me and make it make sense.
I've been wanting that to make sense for me for a long time.
And it's nothing against Christianity.
It's nothing. It's nothing against it.
It's nothing against praising God, having a personal relationship with God, and having your belief system. But when your belief system has been at the driver's seat of oppression for generations, and I had a debate with some idiot on Facebook about 3-4 weeks ago about this nonsense, right? But so you mean to tell me something else that has been man-made, which is the Bible? I'm just going to be real. Something else that is man-made, religious institutions. Something else that are man-made, people who are put into these situations. When you mean to tell me, like, I've traveled the world, I've seen it all. I haven't seen it all, but I've seen a lot. When you go into Egypt and you've seen temples whitewashed with a white Jesus, who you would not have seen a blonde-haired, blue-eyed man in the Middle East right? Makes no sense. So they're doing this in the name of Christianity and loving the Lord, right? But spreading the most vile, oppressive, hateful, false, ignorant, and disgusting language in the name of God, who's supposed to be omnipotent and holy. That is where I have an issue. And that is where I draw the line when it comes to using religion in these hateful spaces. Like they try to associate Charlie Kirk with Martin Luther King. The only thing they have, like Dave Chappelle said, the only thing they have in common is that they were shot in the neck. But Nicki Minaj, this is very problematic. I feel like she is someone who there has to be something in it for her. That's the only way you get into the bed with. That's the only way people like this get into bed with these pigs. And yes, I'm going to call them grifters. I'm going to call them pigs. I'm going to say it. I don't care. You only get into bed with these pigs when you're already dirty and you're used to being dirty and you want to stay dirty.
Mm.
And it's not a religion, it's not a politics thing. I'm not saying anything about the politicians in there. I'm talking about people like this. So you care so much about the bullshit in Nigeria. No offense, not the bullshit. You care so much about the atrocities in Nigeria, right? You have millions and millions and millions of dollars. You could do something over there. Do it.
Be part of the solution that you're looking for.
Go move out there. Build a safe haven.
Like you have the money to do it.
Resources.
You have the money. You have the resources. You have the time. Like you have the time.
Because nobody's listening to your albums anymore, honey. It's over. It is over.
Like
it's over.
You can go out there and make the time, and for your Barbz will understand. And if you really want to make it pop, your Barbz will support whatever you're doing. So you have the platform to make change, and this is what I hate about stardom. For some people, you have the platform to make change, and you sit idly and watch it happen, watch the stuff happen. But then now you jump on a political train that is heading towards the flames that you're trying to get away from, and you are not making anything any better. You're making yourself look worse. Like you're making yourself look as bad as the people. You're making yourself look as bad as the people who stormed the castle on January 6th, a couple years.
But do they even look bad?
They look bad.
They even look bad anymore. Because a lot of the time, like
a lot of people act like they forget. I ain't gonna forget these people.
Let me tell you,
ran up in the spot.
The moment Trump got reelected, that didn't happen anymore. That didn't happen.
And it shouldn't be that way, bro.
The lack of accountability. Anytime you want to, and let's get to the facts of the situation too. The Nigerian government says that the American government is spreading a grossly misinterpretation of the truth, right? It's not only like Christians that are getting persecuted out there. Muslims are getting persecuted out there too, right? 25 Muslim girls were abducted recently. Little girls, where is the outrage? If we're all children under God and Christianity teaches you to accept and love all, then outrage should be universal and not outrage. Outrage should not just fit your narrative of hate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what bothers me about the extremes of both sides. Mainly with the right, because as you know, the media is in the right's pocket. So what happens is like they're showing you what they want you to know. Right? And we're living in a time where facts are getting in the way. The facts are getting in the way of the narrative. And the narrative is going to prevail overall. And Nicki Minaj is another pawn She got up there looking crazy, looking crazy. Majority of her fans come from the same marginalized communities that are actively targeted every day by the works of the people in this administration. That is the truth. That is the facts. Wasn't she a girl who got an abortion at 15, 16 years old? Right? She rapped about it. But now you're aligning yourself with people who are weaponizing Christianity to try to ban abortions, right? To try to cover up. Oh, wait, she doesn't care about, I guess, covering up the files of child predators and shit like that. You know, she doesn't care about that.
No, clearly she don't.
She don't.
She don't. She
But
don't.
just the disgusting beliefs of people in the name of religion to me is something that I can never and will never understand. And then even as blacks, the way that Christianity has us by the balls, it just it's one of the most debilitating things about black culture. Homosexuality and transgender is wrong, but raping, pillaging, cheating people, that's the right way to do it.
In these same churches that you praise the
In the
same gods in,
same churches.
which is still insane to me. It's
Churches.
still insane to me.
Same churches.
The same churches y'all praying to the same God, for forgiveness and everything that you guys pray to God for,
Mm-hmm.
everything that y'all say in this man written book that was written 15 different times, and a version of said book that was written, that is the devil's version that is also read in church.
Mm-hmm.
That same spot, those same people believing in that same God are the same people who will tell you homosexuality is bad, it is not of the Lord. Transgenderism is bad, is not of the Lord. But hey, it's all good. Everything else is cool.
But she's an undocumented illegal immigrant. She never got her citizenship. She said, well, of course, she said so. And I think she's done nothing for the gay community other than, that deserve the support that they showed her through the years.
Man, the amount of people in that community that support Nicki Minaj is is out of this world. And for her to choose her side,
Mm-hmm.
which is a side that purposely and unforgivingly goes against everything that community stands for, is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's like you have to like know your audience. But it seems like she does know her audience now, right?
Don't
She
talk
knows
about somebody else's kids when your husband can't be within 100 feet of them.
if your husband can't be within 100 feet of a school, don't talk about nobody's
Don't
kids.
talk about nobody's kids.
Don't
I'm
talk about
sorry.
nobody's kids.
I'm sorry. I'm
And
sorry. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't
and
do it.
and just one other thing in particular that I've been watching before we move on, the whole Erika Kirk stuff, right? She is coming out to all these events as if she is a WrestleMania main event. She
Right.
and it is insane to me that said side of the fence is basically using her as the face, of a party to prove a point that doesn't need to be proved. It, it
Mm-hmm.
it's ridiculous. Like when do you mourn? If said thing happened as it looks like, right? When do you mourn?
You see that this is where I will draw the line,
Hmm.
right? As someone who lost their first love to gun violence, right? in a very shocking, very traumatic, very enduring way, right? And this might surprise a lot of people, what I'm about to say. Because as you know, I lean so left that I wouldn't even have a show on MSNBC anymore. I tone down a lot of my political talk in public because I'm always mindful of someone else's point of view, and I think that everybody should have their beliefs, all that hot shit. I lost someone who I loved very. I think I lost. No, there were two. I had two boyfriends who passed from gun violence, very young. One was 17. One was 21. And what I will say is that the grieving process takes you through very different iterations. So I give Erika Kirk a sense of empathy I know she'd never give me. Fortunately and unfortunately, I did not have children with that person who I loved more than any of my former partners. Right? You guys didn't know me then. I went through so many hills, peaks, and valleys just to feel again. So I will never criticize her for how she's choosing to mourn the life of her husband. Grief looks so different for some. I'm in a grieving journey right now. I lost my grandmother a couple of months ago and my best friend's mom a couple weeks ago that I've known for over 20 years. So grief takes on so many different levels of iteration. And I guess because her husband had such a strong message, she felt it necessary to heal through that type of advocacy. So while I may not fully agree with the things that she says and the narrative that she's pushed, I empathize with her on a different level. As someone who I lost someone, I don't buy into, I'll be honest too, I don't buy into the narratives that she had her husband killed. I don't buy into the narratives that she's fucking with JD Vance. I think that that's
cheap. That's a little wild.
That's cheap. I think it's cheap. I think that she is trying to push forward in her unfortunate new reality the best way she knows how. No one prepares you for grieving. No one prepares you for when you think that you're going to be with someone forever and that person is taken away from you. I don't care what his political stances are. No, I did not agree with any of the things that he had ever said. No, we would not be on the same side of the aisle on anything. But I take issue as someone who, an unfortunate percentage of women like her and myself know what it's like to carry that badge of hurt and try to move forward in the face of tragedy. And both of those murders that I lost loved ones to were publicized murders and controversial murders as well. You get what I'm saying? And it came with very hefty prices. Very high. For me, I lost a lot by 19 years old. So imagine having children with that person. So I empathize with her on a level that she would never understand and empathize with me. And that's the reality of it. I don't look up there and be like, ill, she needs to go into the kitchen because that's what her husband would have wanted. I'm saying, you know what? It takes a certain type of fortitude to want to push forward when you know there's days that she wanted to not get out of bed and wanted to die. So I would say that. And I do find it interesting that now that Candace Owens is not the Black female conservative darling, I guess nobody else to replace her with than Nicki Minaj. And I think that's bizarre. I think that this whole thing is weird. I'm not a fan of it whatsoever. Does it change my perception of Nicki? No. Do I think that she's on the wrong side of history? Yes. Do I think that, the conservative movement is going to die a horrible death in the next 5-10 years? Yes. I think we've gotten too married to extremes in this country, and Black people, This is not our fight.
It's not our fight. It's not.
We're already getting a lot of rights taken away from us and things that actually matter. I really don't give a what Nicki Minaj has to say about anything. It just shows me that we have more work to do amongst our communities and the diasporas, the difference between the diasporas and how we sell ourselves out and how there's no sense of community because West Indians feel like Black Americans are too lazy. Black Americans feel like West Indians come over here, and when they come to this country, they take the resources. Whereas when the whites and the general see it, they don't see a difference between the two. Colorism is an issue too. We have so many issues within our own community that we need to fix, and we need to start to repair, and it needs to be now. It needs to be now. I'm minding the business that impacts me. And that's my people. And how my people get on these stages and look like complete and utter. That's how I feel. There is one thing I do want to say. When have white people ever had to apologize for being white in this country? I don't want that bullshit y'all was trying to do during COVID when everybody saw George Floyd and got a conscience, right? But when have you ever had to apologize for being white in this country? And why is your supremacy so fragile? When your supremacy is your stocks are up, baby. You lit. You got that. But I can somebody help me understand? It's like
it won't be any of us here.
Because the disadvantage, the advantage is so stark that people fighting for equality feels like an overtaking because your fragility is so tied to white supremacy. Liberals do it too. Because you guys come into our neighborhoods, you drive up the rent, drive up the property taxes, and gentrify neighborhoods as well. That's privilege. If you could say that you don't have to worry about politics, that is a privilege. Dignity, to me, in this day and age, is selective. It's time for them to stop reframing accountability. You get what I'm saying? As injury. It's time to stop this shit. You have never had to apologize for being white ever. 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 So I really don't understand, how does people fighting for equal treatment translates into feeling like your sense of stability is threatened when the playing field is still not level by any stretch of the word, and matters in which in situations where it matters the most, in the wage gaps, in leadership positions, in education, in programs, incarceration, in the drug wars. I don't understand how people are brainwashed and programmed so much that they look at this and be like, huh, those marginalized communities really got it good, baby. I don't get it. But people know all this and still voted for Trump to come back anyway. So it's like I'm talking this away to my bro.
People just said, whatever.
Yeah, if y'all would have just voted for that lady.
Call it a day and let
back
her.
In 2016, that first lady.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because y'all damn sure if y'all didn't vote for that first lady,
y'all definitely wasn't voting.
Y'all wasn't voting for this second lady. I don't care if Biden didn't announce re-election. America wasn't voting her in.
Yeah, y'all.
And because we're from New York and we're used to diversities and in different ways, shape, and form, we grew up in with all kinds of races, creeds, sex. I grew up around transgendered people.
Yeah.
My mother's best friend, was one of the first people I'd known to be gay, to be trans, and to die of age-related causes. So I grew up understanding the differences between us, but we forget that this is one state. There's 49 others. And half these people think that Christianity is the
be all end all.
The religion of the land when it's supposed to be a separation of church and state.
No such thing.
Yeah, I'm not here to teach a physics lesson, a civics lesson. Even though I am, to be honest with you, I am educated in this. I have my first master's in political science. So I'm not speaking about things I did not study and do not know about.
Professor Hartley over there. Okay.
I'm finna give it all up and become a professor, bro. I think I need to help educate the next generation of people because it just doesn't make any sense to me. It just shows like it doesn't even make any more sense. And everybody wanted these damn Epstein files. And
these black the black construction paper.
What are we gonna do about it? Are we gonna do anything about them? No.
Everybody wanted these files released on both sides, and the files are released. We see most of it is redacted. What's next? Nothing.
And I don't care. Let me tell you something. If Bill Clinton is in there, if George Clinton is in there, if motherfucking anybody's in there, and they need to be held accountable, hold them accountable. I don't care who it is, and that's the reality of it.
Hold them accountable. Hold everybody accountable. It's not about sides. It's about right and wrong. And
yeah,
like if we're gonna scrutinize one side, we're gonna scrutinize the other for right and wrong. Like that's it at the end of the day.
Okay, let's see how it looks to y'all when them healthcare premiums start going up next year. Let's see if this is a good idea. Let's see if this is a good idea in the next 2 months.
So yeah, this is insane. Something else that's insane is the fact that Shedeur Sanders took the Bills to the limit the other night.
Are you surprised?
I'm not. I'm not surprised.
Are you? You know who is surprised?
Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski is super surprised because, however, he has tried to manipulate the situation, to throw curveballs at him, Shedeur again has sat there, been graceful about it, and done his job. Yes, he played. He had he played 20. He threw for 29, 157 yards.
157 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and he had
one of those picks wasn't even his fault. The other one, the linebacker.
It's about a 70% completion rate. I mean, against the Bills defense, who's known to be, the Bills are on their way to the playoffs.
They need to be on their way to the damn Super Bowl, but that's a whole different conversation that we're not going to sit here and have because I'm tired of Josh Allen breaking our hearts every time we believe in him. So I'm just going to sit and watch.
I think this is it.
For me, the Bills getting to the Super Bowl this year, for me, is the same way I feel about the New York Knicks getting to the finals this year. Right?
I don't think so. But you see, with the Knicks, let me be real with you though. Mm-hmm. Cleveland looks really good.
They do that all the time. Cleveland look great, and then they get to the playoffs, and then just be ass.
But then Detroit looks really good too. You know what I'm saying? Like
that would be your Achilles heel, Detroit.
The Pistons, absolutely. Like, okay, looking at the NFL landscape right now, right? This is as good of a chance as it's ever going to get for the Bills again. Because if you don't think that Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs squad, wherever they will end up in the next couple of years, because apparently that they won't be the Kansas City Chiefs in the next 5 or so years. You mean to tell me when he comes back that he's not going to be on that Tom Brady level revenge tour? I kid you not. Let's not forget that Patrick Mahomes is still one of the greatest Super Bowl quarterbacks of all time.
Absolutely.
One of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I have him in my top 5. All time. Already. Now, looking at the Super Bowl, I really think that it could be between either the Rams and the Bills, Rams, Patriots, Broncos, insert either other team. The Patriots are balling out of control right now, too. The Patriots look scary. You know who don't look scary? The Eagles. You know, the reason why the Eagles look so damn good is because the NFC East was so damn bad.
NFC went back to form. Bad. Yeah, true form. With like the
True form.
like
True form.
we've had good NFC seasons, NFC East seasons, but most of the time it's the Cowboys, and then they get there and then they flounder. The Eagles do what they do. Nobody's ever worried about the Commanders except last year, and the Giants when they roll the dice properly, we get to the playoffs. So nobody's really worried about the NFC East. So the Eagles have had a cakewalk the last, for a little bit now. But in terms of on the other side, on the Bills for the AFC, right? They're having to deal with teams that have been bad but figured out how to be good now. We look at the Broncos, the Patriots, the Jags, the Chargers, especially the Jags and the Chargers, because the Jaguars and the Chargers were bad for so long. And
They went to the divisional 2 years ago, the
right, but
Jags.
outside of that, I'm talking about outside of the divisional playoffs 2 years ago. If we look at the Jaguars like wholly for the last 10 years, the Jaguars have been
Yeah, okay.
bad. The Chargers haven't really, really, really been good since Phillip Rivers. So it's like, and then the rest of the AFC, the Steelers are as consistent as a consistent can be. The Texans are up and down. The Colts fell out of favor because they lost their quarterback, and the Ravens forgot how to play football. The Chiefs have been injured. Miami has just been Miami. The Bengals, I feel bad for Joe Burrow because it's like he's playing out there by himself. The Jets are the Jets. The Titans are the Titans. The Browns are still figuring out their life, and the Raiders have been the Raiders. So it's like the Bills, even with those top 4 teams that haven't really made noise, this should be y'all time. This should be y'all time.
I
But
agree. But also the Rams look crazy. The Rams look crazy. The Seahawks look crazy. The freaking Patriots look crazy. And then this is the one year that I really can't predict.
the Niners, surprisingly, like they have had the quietest.
They always do this. They always do this too. Like I'm so over them as well. They always do this. F the freaking
They
F that.
they want to make it this year because the bowl game, Super Bowl's going to be in San Francisco.
We ain't seen no damn 49ers in the Super Bowl.
It'd be crazy if we do
that. But we won't.
I have more faith and I do not like Matthew Stafford, but I have more faith in the Rams making it to the Super Bowl before I have the 49ers making it.
But I think that if it's Rams Bills in the Super Bowl, I think Bills win, man.
They have to. They've got no choice.
Yeah, I think Bills win. They don't have no choice. But I think that when it comes to, I think the Seahawks look really freaking scary. I think the Broncos look scary too. I think you have some really strong competitors who are still sticking it out week by week looking more dominant. The 49ers, they beat up on some bad teams.
What's new?
But I don't think the path to the Super Bowl is as easy for them any like this time around. I think that like because you have other teams that look scary. They're not the scariest of them all. Even the Packers were looking crazy. And then even on the AFC side, the Steelers look crazy. Still. Even with bum ass Aaron Rodgers.
Talk about how the Panthers might make the playoffs and they're 8-7. The Carolina Panthers.
Who was once the worst team in the league, if you don't remember. Yeah.
The Carolina Panthers might make the Super Bowl. Might make the playoffs before the Packers do. And that's also because of how the NFL does their divisional seeding for the playoffs, right? It just happens to be that way. It really just happens to be that way because you have teams like you have the Eagles who are 10-5, but you have the 49ers that are 11-4.
That was an ugly 10-5 though.
Absolutely. You have the Niners and the Rams are both 11-4, but they're 5th and 6th seed right now. Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The Lions can still they have
a
7%.
No, the Packers have to lose out. The Packers have to lose out in order for them, and they have to win out, and the Packers have to lose out. And I can't see both happening simultaneously.
Basically, but the Packers do have the one tie in the league right now. Them and somebody, I forget who they tied with. That game they tied with. But we said this before. We're going to keep saying it again. This NFL playoffs is probably going to be the wildest playoffs we've seen. I feel, there are going to be a team or two that blows a team out. But the way the field is about to be set up is about to be crazy, right? Because if the playoffs started right now in the NFC East, the Seahawks get the bye. It's the Bears, the Eagles, the Niners, the Rams, the Panthers, and the Packers. And then on the AFC side again, the Broncos get the bye. It's the Patriots, the Jags, the Chargers, the Bills, the Steelers, and the Texans. That means the Ravens and the Chiefs do not make the playoffs this year. Like, the Ravens and the Chiefs do not make the playoffs.
Well, the Ravens haven't looked that great in a couple years either. I mean, they went from looking almost unbeatable to
every time they get in the playoffs, they just fold.
They fold every time in the playoffs. They're like the Packers.
Yeah. The Aaron Rodgers Packers too.
The Aaron Rodgers Packers, not the Jordan Love Packers. I think the Jordan Love Packers are a better team.
They look like a better team. They definitely look like a better team. But we'll definitely have to wait and see. And then as for Shedeur, he played the best game that he can play against one of the best defenses that's there in the league. And again, he is only proven more that Kevin Stefanski should be fired and should go coach someplace else. Or you need to trade.
Yeah, I think he needs to be traded.
Send him to not Oakland. Send him to Vegas.
Send him to Vegas.
Imagine him under the tutelage of Tom Brady, who's just upstairs, just chilling.
I love Tom Brady.
You said that. You've been saying that even more since Fanatic Fest, which I'm definitely going to go this year. Definitely going to go this year.
This year I might sit this one out. I might sit this one out. I only got a handful of you know.
You got a farewell tour going to?
Got a farewell tour. I did my farewell tour. I'm probably gonna be there, but like I need to when you run into your when you run into your ex, it's very, 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 very awkward.
Yes.
Very,
Yes.
very awkward.
Just hire me as
And
security. I will walk around with you the whole time.
Please, yeah, because it's like I ran into my ex at the worst possible, the best and worst
It'd be
possible
like, hey,
times.
Hey, hey,
Like,
back up.
Wait,
back up.
Back up.
Your ex security might be bigger than me though. So, like I watch how many swings I do before they be like, oh.
Yeah. Get them both the fuck up out of here. Expeditiously, please.
now look at us both sitting outside the Javits Center. It was like, all right.
Man.
Right, got a story to tell on the show.
How to run into my ex, man. Yo, it's like I can't escape my ex ever. So.
Turn on the TV right now. There's something from the ex.
Yeah, my ex is right there. Ew. Yuck.
But
what happened to you?
But ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap for the Yerrr Sports Show. Are we kicking out another episode before the year's out? Yeah,
I think we should.
So follow us on all social media platforms. Follow me at The Wise Brother on all social media platforms. Follow Tavia at
follow me on TikTok.
Tavia Regina at TikTok. On TikTok, she got a lot of good stuff there. She's fashionista. She's showing the world how it's supposed to be done. Follow BK Matt on all his social media platforms and all that good stuff. And
you know what? I agree with you in bringing back yearning. I believe that this world would be a much better place if men yearned for women. Like, we'd be in so, like, if we brought love back. It's like the real, not the fake ass Diddy love movie.
Yeah, no, not that. That how he was trying to catch y'all slipping. Yeah, we don't want that.
He was trying to.
He was trying to catch you. He was trying to get me the okie doke for sure.
He didn't want to go to jail, so the love movement meant something different for him. But let's bring back love. Let's bring back yearning. Let's bring back love letters. Let's bring back, R&B. Like, let's bring back groups. Let's bring back singing for your love and being unapologetic.
Stop calling it thirsty. Stop calling it simping. Stop calling it all that other BS that is.
But isn't the goal to be? Wouldn't it be dope to be a simp for somebody who's also a simp for you? I thought that was the whole goal of this whole thing.
Supposed to be.
That's what I thought it was supposed to be. Like, the way that men love on their homeboys.
Yo, I just knew. I was like, that's where it's gonna go. The blinker is on right now. The blinker is on.
Bring back yearning, y'all. Bring back yearning. I'm here for the big baby soul of R&B movement. This is the biggest drop support you.
I appreciate it. Listen, because you got 1 billion followers on TikTok, so I need to drop right now. I need it.
So, bring back yearning, men. It's time to fall in love. You get what I'm saying? It's time, because we have too many people who were not made out of love, and that's why people are not like. That's why this society is fucked right now.
And just like, please, when we say bring back yearning,
we have all the BBL babies.
And it's just a lot, and
we have all the flued out.
The flued out kids. Oh man, they should be born at this point right now. Some of the flued out kids, because
they're coming up. They fit to be preteens. We need people to fall in love again. Where's Uncle and Auntie?
Uncle and Auntie's out there with them. Uncle and Auntie out there with them, having a grand old time. They bagging the ones they're supposed to be teaching. They're bagging the ones they're supposed to be teaching. We want to bring it back yearning, but please, people, don't be weird about it. You go yearn, don't be weird. No. When I say don't be weird about it, don't fake the yearn, right? Don't fake it. If you really feel for that person, yearn for them. And if they don't want you, go about your business.
And don't yearn for just some drawers, because that's weird. That's weird.
You don't got to yearn from drawers. They're just giving it away now. So it's like,
that's sad. No, but people be lying to get draws. Like
people
they
be
still
lying to get draws.
Like people
be lying like hell.
It's not that simple. They
oh
lie
no,
like
it's
hell.
a lot more simpler than you think now.
Really? That's
it's a lot more simpler than you think, and a lot of that has to do. And we'll definitely touch on that the next episode for sure. When it's all three of us, a lot of it has to do with what you have and what you don't have. So, but again, that is it for episode whatever number of the Yerrr Sports Show for the Queen Tay. It is your boy Big Baby signing off. Peace.
Hi everyone, this is Tim Kitzrow from NBA Jam. And if your speakers are heating up, that means you're listening to the Yerrr Sports Show. They're on fire. Boom shakalaka. Available on all streaming platforms. Kaboom!